At NSS, we're proud of our Wrangler 2730-3330 automatic scrubbers. And we want to do everything we can to make sure your new Wrangler gives you years of dependable service in whatever application you require. Always make sure you read the operation manual closely for complete instructions and warnings. And this is important. Before you set up the machine, we want to make sure you're aware of a few simple precautions. First, never let anyone operate the machine who has not been trained. And always wear eye protection and rubber gloves when you work with the batteries. Battery acid is a dangerous chemical, so always avoid contact with eyes, skin, and clothing. If battery acid does splash on you, be sure to rinse the area thoroughly with clean water and seek medical attention immediately. Which brings us to our first and one of the most important areas of concern, the batteries. Now, the batteries are a maintenance-intensive area. Without daily battery servicing, your scrubber will not run. Be sure to check the water level in the batteries at least once a week, and once a day isn't bad, especially when the weather is hot. Before charging, check to ensure the battery water level covers the battery plates. Do not fill completely, since the water level will rise during charging. Also, and this is important, never recharge the batteries if the water level is so low that the plates are exposed. After charging, add more water if necessary to bring the level up to the bottom of the fill hole. Also, once a week, check to make sure the battery cable connections are tight and free of corrosion. When tightening connections, take care not to touch across terminals. Electrical arcing and possible injury may result. If the connections do begin to corrode, scrape off the corrosion with a wire brush. The drain tube and clamp for the battery compartment are at the left rear of the machine. If battery liquids spill into the battery compartment, drain the liquids immediately and clean the compartment. These chemicals contain strong acids and are both hazardous and corrosive. So always be sure to wear eye protection and rubber gloves when you are working with battery liquids. Fortunately, you won't have to do much battery setup when you take receipt of the machine, because NSS automatic scrubbers arrive ready to use with batteries already installed. The next step is installing the pad drivers or brushes. With models using the optional power deck lift, you must raise the brush deck before attaching pads or brushes. Open the frame-mounted skirts by lifting up the Z-shaped latch and swing the skirt open. Position the pad driver or brush lugs under the drive plate. Lift the lugs through the openings in the drive plate and turn the driver or brush toward the latch. Always be sure to close the locking latch around the lug, or the pad drivers or brushes could fly off the machine and cause injury. After securing the brush or pad driver on one side, repeat the process on the other side of the machine. When transporting the machine to the work site, store the squeegee in the squeegee holder on the top of the scrubber. To install the squeegee, first put the squeegee lift arm in the storage position, like this. Loosen both squeegee knobs and slide the squeegee assembly onto its mount. On our straight squeegees, make sure the roller wheels are facing the rear. Since the machine is equipped with a breakaway squeegee, hand tightening is all you need. Now install the vacuum hose. Now that the machine is set up, run through the operator controls to get the feel of them. Begin by turning on the master switch or optional key switch. Lower the squeegee. Lower the brush deck. And then flip on the vacuum switch. The twist grip handles control both the brushes and the machine's direction and speed. The farther you turn the grips, the faster the machine moves. The brushes will only begin to rotate if the brush deck is down. When you release the grips, they automatically return to neutral, and the machine and brush stop moving, and the solution flow is automatically shut off. When you twist the grip handles forward, the machine moves forward, and twist them back to move backward. You can adjust the solution valve by moving this lever and engage the brush lift arm to the position you desire. On the power deck lift models, you must raise the deck before switching from heavy to light. Raise and lower the squeegee assembly with this lever. Your new NSS Wrangler has several motors, and each has its own circuit breaker. This added NSS feature protects each motor because it helps eliminate the kind of overload that will burn out a motor. If a circuit breaker is popped out, push it back to reset it. If the circuit breaker keeps popping out, call an authorized NSS service center. And anytime the machine does not perform one or more of its functions, be sure you check the circuit breaker panel first. Now let's look at how to properly prepare your new Wrangler for daily operation. First, make sure the floor care products you are using are compatible with the machine and with the desired application. Your supervisor or your NSS distributor can suggest the specific chemical, pad, or brush combination that will work best for each application. And be sure to dilute all chemicals to their proper strength, as specified by the manufacturers. Read the label and measure. Don't estimate. Fill the solution tank. Do not use water hotter than 140 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 60 degrees centigrade. If pouring from a bucket, pour the cleaning liquids right through the mesh filter at the front of the machine. If filling with a hose, snap the hose into the handy hose catch. The clear hose at the right rear of the machine shows you how much liquid is in the tank. Every time you fill the solution tank, we recommend that you vacuum up at least 4 to 6 ounces of defoamer chemical into the recovery tank. Get into the habit of doing this every time. Using a defoamer cuts down on foam in the recovery tank, and that's important because cleaning solutions do foam up as you use the machine. Water and other liquids will trigger the built-in float mechanism to close, which helps keep moisture out of the vacuum motor. But foam won't always trigger the float shutoff, so it poses a danger to your vacuum motor. Using defoamer and cleaning the filter will help protect your vacuum motor and should significantly prolong its life. Now we're ready to start the job. Be sure you prepare each cleaning site for scrubbing. First, always be sure to dust mop or sweep before using your new Wrangler. As you clean, you may have to adjust the solution valve to apply more or less solution liquid onto the floor. Take care that you do not over-discharge the batteries. Batteries should be drained only to the recharge area on the battery meter, then recharged. Draining too much power can damage the batteries, the battery charger, or the machine. As you run the machine, if you want to know when the recovery tank is full, listen to the vacuum motor. In this demonstration, we close off the airflow, simulating a full recovery, so you can hear the change in the noise the vacuum motor makes. This is the operator's signal to cease machine functions until the recovery tank can be emptied. To empty the recovery tank, detach the hose at the front of the machine. Raise the end of the hose above the level of the tank. Take out the drain plug and put the drain hose into a drain or bucket. To empty the solution tank, detach the solution hose at the back of the machine and use the vacuum hose. NSS machines are always designed with easy maintenance in mind. And proper maintenance will keep your Wrangler running at peak efficiency day to day and year to year. Make it a habit to do these simple maintenance steps. Keep the squeegee clean and inspect the assembly for wear or damage. Check the vacuum hose for obstructions, wear, or damage. Remove the pad driver or brush and inspect for wear or damage. And hang them on the front of the machine to dry. When you're finished for the day, drain and rinse the recovery tank. Leave the lid open and run the vacuum motor for about 3 minutes. This will help reduce moisture buildup and extend the life of your vacuum motor. Connect the battery charger firmly to the external battery charge plug at the left rear of the unit. And listen for the distinctive click of the connector, making sure that the connection is tight. Do not quick charge the machine during lunch breaks. Quick charging the batteries for short periods during the workday, will shorten the life of the batteries. Then every week, be sure to follow these easy maintenance steps. Rinse the solution tank with clean water to prevent buildup of alkaline chemicals. Rinse the recovery tank with a strong all-purpose cleaner to help reduce odor. Check the float assembly to make sure it isn't clogged and that the float is moving freely. Leaving the clean-out port cover off between uses will allow the recovery tank to dry and reduce odors. And always remember to replace the float and screw down the clean-out cover when you next use the machine. Now here's a list of once-a-month maintenance items. Lubricate key moving parts with a high-quality, moisture-resistant grease. That means lubricating the wheel bearings, drive axle bearings, and caster swivel. And remember, these are just the basics of caring for and maintaining your new Wrangler. When you conduct them regularly, you know you'll be getting the most out of your NSS equipment, now and for years to come. For additional troubleshooting and maintenance information, check your operation manual. At NSS, we design our machines with simplicity. We call it elegant simplicity in mind. So they're easy to use and maintain, and so they last longer than competitive equipment. But even our machines need maintenance. So be sure you establish a program of care to keep your Wrangler auto scrubber in peak operating condition long after it's out of the box. And remember that we're here to help you when you need us. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, contact us at NSS World Manufacturing Headquarters in Toledo, Ohio, USA, where the words "more than meets the floor" come to life every day.